Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of The Conscious Female Founder. I am super excited today to have with us Lara Lee Cain, who is our love and relationships expert. We met not that long ago, but Lara is absolutely amazing. I've been watching her for quite a while, actually, from a distance, just seeing what she's doing and the transformations that she's having with some of her clients. So I'm really excited to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. So I've given a really brief introduction of obviously who you are, because you,
Yeah.
as a brief overview, you went from a hairdresser to now obviously a love and relationship expert. But I know there is a whole journey and a whole story of how you kind of went through that process. So
Yeah.
I'll give you the opportunity to obviously introduce yourself of, yeah, who you are and how we got here.
Oh God. So how I got here? Well, obviously I've worked with women for like 20 years, one to one. So like that's been a privilege. And obviously the conversations that you share over that time, there's are completely unshockable, really. That I don't
Yeah.
think anything that I could be told that I'd be like, oh.
Okay, that came out.
Yeah. So and that's an honour in itself. But self-development has always been sort of my passion for the last 20 years. And I wanted to be a life coach when I was about 20. That's when I first even heard of it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, you think you have to go on your own journey, and it's better when you're older. You sort of go off and go through some stuff, go through some hard things. That's when you get cracked open. That's when you grow. You have your growth and your understandings and stuff. And so then finally, about 4 years ago, my sister was like, you've got to just train. Like you talk about it all the time. Like all I
Yeah.
would do in my spare time would be read books on personal development and spirituality and all like metaphysical stuff and all the good stuff. So I think I was just sort of training for 20 years, like in the background, and then did the actual proper recognised qualification. So you're sort of dotting the I's and crossing the T's and
Yeah.
understanding the proper coaching tools and modalities and everything. So yeah, that's it.
That is absolutely amazing. I know it hasn't been a particularly easy journey for you, though, has it? In
No.
perspective, because I know there was obviously quite a while, because we chatted, I think, last week, and you said there was quite a while where you were wanting to, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners get to sometimes, where they're, especially when they're starting business and they're starting to build it up from where they maybe still in a full-time job, but they're obviously doing this on the side, and the side hustle is actually
Oh,
the real big passion, but it's
yeah.
taking that step and that massive jump. But I don't know whether you mind me touching on this. Obviously, you kind of got to a point where your back was up against the wall and you had to stop, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, to be honest, sounds a bit weird, but so I got diagnosed with colon cancer sort of last October. But I'd been obviously sort of setting second business up. I've been so for 2 years I'd been training whilst doing that around work and everything, and sort of hairdressing and running home and being a mum, and then setting up a business and learning all the online things that you need as well, and then starting to like get your website and your platforms, understand content, starting to get clients, build up your testimonials, and I was just absolutely exhausted. And yeah, so when I got diagnosed with colon cancer last year, it was like part of me was obviously I was scared, but part of it was be a relief for me because I was so tired. And
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like when we say like you can have it all, it is really hard to have it all. Like, or unless you're super balanced person, but it's and you can try to pace yourself, but it is still difficult. And I think that I was ready to. I needed to step away from hairdressing, but I wasn't, so that was my own fault. So I feel like sometimes life's like, right, we're going to help you step away. So
Yeah.
obviously when I got told I was poorly, I had to cancel life, like all life, even the coaching. And
Yeah.
it was just then it allowed, I had the mindset of just look for the blessings,
Yeah.
and the things that naturally needed to fall away fell away, and it gave me the time that I needed to be at home to concentrate on all the things related to like my passion, which is the coaching. So
Yeah, of
yeah,
course, absolutely.
bad.
So it was really a moment of like, again, your back was up against the wall. You had to make a decision, you had to make a choice, but it was, I guess, it gave you the push in the direction that you needed
Yeah,
it to.
yeah, you can't carry on like, I couldn't carry on like that anyway. It made me realize like I don't want to be in struggle and overwhelm.
Of
And I think
course.
we can all have those different patterns, like if you sort of sometimes you release one struggle and then you'll create another.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
trying
Yeah.
to do too much. So now I just really like, I could easily do too much, but I won't now. Like I literally think like you look at your to-do list and you're just like, look, if I'm feeling it today, I'm feeling it. If I'm not, I'm going to rest. I'm not going to
Yeah.
push myself. I'm not going to try and overachieve or achieve more than what you know, like what you should do, because otherwise then you just freeze in inaction anyway, because you're just
Yes.
exhausted. So
Yeah.
sometimes the less you do, the more you can achieve, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I think I especially suffer this. It's almost like you get to a state of overwhelm, don't you? And then we know from all the
Yeah,
training and stuff that we do
yeah,
that your brain almost shuts down, and then
yeah.
you actually achieve nothing because your brain starts to kind of go into this protective stage and you start forgetting everything. So then you
You're just so
achieve nothing.
tired, and then you just like want to hide under a duvet. You're just like,
Right?
oh, it's too much.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Okay, so kind of going to the business sides of things. So obviously you're a love and relationship expert. So who exactly do you help and how do you help them?
So I'm helping high level women who basically have been really, really successful in every area of their life. They've just struggled with relationships, and the guys that they're meeting, they're not, you know, they're not short of offers, but they're not bringing the same to the table. These
Yeah.
women like have achieved like more than most. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like we all have areas of our life that, you know, we could be really successful in one area but not in other areas, or, you know,
Yeah.
like it could be like really great for relationships but money's not great or whatever. It's just, it can be like blocks. I feel like internal blocks. A lot of it is I feel like taking care of their soul where they come, and, you know, just finding out what the blocks are and what the, like, it's worthiness and desirability. But we have a lot of conditioning from obviously like our younger years, which is all in the subconscious mind, and so you're not even aware of it. So sometimes we're running old programs in the way we speak to ourselves or the way we see ourselves in regarding relationships, and they've kind of had to have it all like under control their like whole lives. They're not victims, but they've had to have it to control, because if they didn't do it, who would? So then it's like, then they're sometimes then attracting partners who, like, they, as a woman, they're the caretaker and the men need taken care of, rather than bringing the same energy and the same, like, you know, they want somebody who can be their match. But quite often I find that our external world is sort of a mirror of what's going on in our internal world. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
the tweak, like, help them, support them to do the inner tweaks to get them to a place where they can be a vibrational match for what they want to actually attract, and also to believe it's even possible, because sometimes they might feel like they've never been loved, or,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. So it's just opening their awareness, their consciousness, igniting like the energy of love within them, like lots of different things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's almost like about doing the internal healing so that then the external starts to reflect and they start to attract
Yeah.
actually what it is that they want, as
Yeah,
opposed
without
to
having to push and force and just, you know, like try and make something happen, you
yeah.
know, because it's just like the people who, once you do the internal work, like the, and your beliefs are different and your consciousness is different and your desirability is different, then what was showing up for you before can't show up, and you might be really worthy and deserving in other areas. It could just be that one area,
Yes.
and you don't know what the, you know, it's just to believe our beliefs in our stories, and we start to change those beliefs and open, yeah, like open up their consciousness. So it's, so then new things just come in without you even having to,
Yeah.
right? So also
Yes.
just because your energy changes, and when your energy changes, that
What
then,
you attract is different.
yeah, exactly. So we're all vibrational beings. That's why I focus on helping them heal the relationship they have with themselves, which is the most important
Yes,
relationship,
absolutely.
so they can then become a vibrational match for what they truly desire, even working out what that is, because sometimes people haven't really even thought that deeply, because they don't want to let themselves go there, because
Yeah.
it's like things can be really scary, like if you
Yeah.
haven't had those things.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So you're obviously a woman on quite a mission. And one of the things that pops up a lot for me when I work with some of, or I see women that are kind of wanting to make a particular change in their
Yeah.
life, whether that be relationships or business or whatever it is that a lot of the time they sometimes have maybe a bit of an underlying lack of confidence in that particular area to kind of take the step,
Yeah.
take the jump. Like, have you ever suffered with that, or do you see that
Oh
pop up a lot
God.
for your clients?
Like, that's probably, I definitely feel like I'm in embodiment of my work. Which I
You
think,
find that a lot with entrepreneurs.
yeah, because you've got to have kind of gone on that journey yourself to be able to understand on a deep empathic level, and also if you have done that transformation in yourself, you know what has worked, what like didn't work, you know
Yes.
how they felt beforehand, what showed up for you. And then I know very quickly after, you know, when I was 33, 32, 33, when I finally had enough, I was like, oh my God, okay, like it's me, what am I doing wrong here?
Yeah.
I went for coaching myself, things, and I did the internal work. Things changed quickly. Within 3 months, I met my husband, and it was completely different relationships to what I'd ever had. And it was just like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. But I had changed, and you have
Yeah.
to. It's almost like changing the personality a little bit. It's not like you've got to be a different person. It's just bringing out who you're authentically supposed to be and reconnecting yourself with yourself.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, and doing lots of different things. So if you've done it yourself, you know what works. And I mean,
That's exactly what I was about to
ongoing
say.
journey, yeah. So it's an ongoing journey, I think, always, because there's always another level or something.
Yeah.
But you keep on shedding the layers of stuff. So I think, especially if you can have it, a lot of it comes from low self-esteem, and even if outwardly you look confident and stuff, I was really painfully shy as a child. So it's taken me a lot to get to the place that I am like now. I had to really work on myself. So low self-esteem, and I think at the root of with a lot of people is that, like, they feel not enough. There's like not enough of something, or not deserving enough, or not worthy enough, or and it's making them realize they are worthy. They don't need to earn love. They're worthy because they exist.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly powerful as well, because it's one of those things when you've walked that path, when you've actually been there yourself and you've done the internal work, then when you then work with your clients, you can really resonate with how they're feeling, or the place that they're at, or where their mind is at, or why they're getting that struggle, or why they're kind of getting that resistance, because you've been there and you
feel it on it, like I feel it like it's, you feel things on a deep level, so you feel it like it's like happened to you, because you just can really understand. So, and you can be more gentle and more understanding than somebody who's gone through, like, I think it's much nicer to have somebody who's gone through a similar journey. And also it's a bit like, say, go to somebody who they are what they say they are, whether that be business or money, or no point going to like a money coach and they've got no money. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
like,
right. Yeah. It's exactly that. Yeah.
It is like, I think that gives you more confidence in that person.
Yeah. Okay, so like, I guess my question would be like, do you ever still get days where like either like a lack of confidence in yourself, or you kind of wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I think a lot of entrepreneurs sometimes get imposter syndrome. I know it's like definitely popped up for me before, where you're like, am I qualified for this? Yes, I am. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, yes.
What do you do as like an entrepreneur and a business owner who's doing incredibly well, making massive moves with other people in relationships and love? Like, how do you get over those days? Do you have like tools or techniques?
I do.
Trained for a long time.
Yeah, I do constantly have to still work on myself, because I just think there's like there's always another level you can get to, and that's like, and sort of letting that sort of like not letting that negative self-talk get to you. And I think that's why it's important to have good self-care like routines, because I know like I feel so much more positive if I've gone to bed early, if I'm drinking water, if I'm eating healthy foods, if I'm going to the gym, if I'm really taking care of myself, I feel so much more positive in myself. And I do have to make sure that I've got, like, when those moments of like self-doubt creep in, you're like, gosh, you were, like, if you're not qualified for this, who is? Do you know what I mean? Because I kind of
right.
And you have to just be like, just try to, like, believe in yourself as well. And if you do need some help with stuff, I believe in coaching. So every time the next level comes up, I will go for somebody who I know that they can take that next level. And I do think coaching is powerful, whether it be in relationships or whether it be in business, because like there's always somebody who's a bit further ahead on their journey. And when we're left to our own devices, we can really, like, sometimes talk ourselves out of things, not be productive. If I've told somebody I'll do it, I'll get stuff done. Whereas
absolutely,
if sometimes I'm left to my own devices, I'm like, I'll do that next week, So.
I think that's so true, isn't it? Something that I say a lot of the time. Like, I use a variety of coaches, and I've done for about 6 or 7 years now. Like, completely different. I've had spiritual coaches, money coaches, fitness coaches, business coaches, and I think it's so true, isn't it? It's like when you know there's an area of your life that either you've taken that time to reflect on and either needs improvement or needs work, to then take on a coach who has walked your path and is like 5 steps ahead of you, or 10 steps ahead of you, then to be able to take them on to guide you is it for me is really, really important. I am a big believer in it.
Like, I feel like the internet is like so noisy, and
it's ridiculously noisy.
And and if you're already struggling with certain aspects, like, you know, and you don't have, especially as women, if you're, you know, got children and a home and maybe a partner, maybe not, or whatever, but you've got a family, you've got all these different commitments, and you're wanting to maybe build a second business or build a business,
Yeah.
you know, you haven't got time to go down loads of rabbit holes, I feel like. So, and it can, or you could just get so overwhelmed that you get even more confused. So it's good to seek out people who you resonate with and who you
Yes.
know they are like, you know, oh, they're definitely who they say they are, and they've definitely done what they've said, and
Yeah.
you know they've kind of got a bit of a blueprint, and you're like, just give me the blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah. Please help me. And a lot of the time, like we were saying this actually a minute ago, a lot of the time when you like take on clients, they then open up to you so easily and quickly
Yes.
because they've potentially watched your journey.
Yeah.
And they know that you're obviously coming from a real authentic place. You're a normal woman who's
Yeah.
obviously had some real like struggles personally, and also you're a mum, you're a wife, so you've got all these things going on. So then to be able to resonate with you on that level, I think
Yeah.
is really actually quite powerful. And I completely agree with you. The internet can be so noisy with people shouting. But actually, I think someone once said to me years ago, just keep showing up authentically. And
Yeah.
that will be the thing that people resonate with you for. And I think that is absolutely so true. And that's why when I was watching you, I was like, I like her a lot because
Oh,
she's just another normal woman
we like,
making
yeah, I
great
think,
waves.
yeah, drawn people, like I think if you're authentic, then you don't have to, you're not there to please everybody, and I think that's what you have to remember if you're somebody who's building a business and showing up online. You know, the main thing is you approve of yourself,
Yeah.
like, and you don't do things that don't, obviously you have to take yourself out of the comfort zone, don't do things that feel like really uncomfortable to you or don't feel aligned, and the right people will love you and be drawn to you because that energy
Yeah.
shines through, and you'll attract your people, you know.
Yeah, you will. You'll attract your tribe.
So I think, yeah, just being authentic, you're just taking the next baby step, like
Yeah.
like not trying to, again, that's overwhelming. You're trying to make too big a leaps. I think it's just baby steps or like little commitments to yourself, so you're not trying to like change everything all in one go.
Yeah. And I guess that then comes back to that whole piece of like what you were saying about when you're working with your clients, and it's a case of kind of taking them back to self-love, and really making sure that that becomes a priority for them, because obviously that is the most important relationship that we have
Yeah,
is
yeah,
with ourselves first of all, isn't it?
yeah. That's it. Most people, like, generally, like, self love and self care are really thrown around on the internet,
Yeah,
but
they do. They get thrown around a lot.
don't really know what, like, I think a lot of people haven't really truly been like taught how to love themselves, like, so, and by the time you get to adulthood, you're so disconnected from yourself. So
Yeah.
it's like, in the people like who raised you, they might not have known themselves or whatever. So it's like, yeah, basically going back to, that's why the inner child work's really important, because obviously
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff comes from like the first 7 years, all the downloads that you're taking in and your paradigms and stuff.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
getting in there, and also like finding out, but whatever you are doing coaching for, finding out what the root cause is, because quite often people think that, oh, it's this, it's causing the problem, but
Yeah.
once you delve a bit deeper and become a detective, you need to get to the root cause. So yeah, it's kind of like I've sort of like strip it all away, get back to the foundations,
Yeah.
and then we can get on to the what you want to attract. But it's putting real strong foundations in, so it's going to them
Absolutely.
to start with, and then we can start calling in and sort of, you know, becoming the creator of your life and attracting those things, because your frequency will change. So it's, yeah,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
I say that an awful lot. It's when I'm working with some of my clients privately, when we're doing one-to-one coaches, like the mindset has to be strong first of all. Like obviously my industry is different to yours. Like I work with entrepreneurs who want to add income streams through products-based businesses, but it's the same concept. Like the
Yeah,
foundations and the mindset have to be strong so that we can then build something. It's
yeah,
like building a house on sinking sand. Yeah, you can build it, but it might not.
rumble.
That yeah, it's going to crumble at some point. So it's getting those pieces like really, really set and working on that, so that then we can create something quite magical and quite beautiful.
Yeah, and I think
You're a woman on a mission.
well, I think it's really hard to do these things by yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Absolutely.
even when you, like, you're saying, done loads of self development work, loads of mindset work, you've got good practices, spiritual practices, and everything. But even with all that knowledge, like, it's really hard to, when you want to achieve something, or you're stuck with something, or you've got a block around something, it's really hard to do it yourself. You need somebody
Yeah.
to, it's like igniting something within you,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you can't do it by yourself, really. So it's just
Yeah.
seeking some, like, you know, like being the, like the kindling and the match, and then like
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, igniting that within you and asking you the right questions so you go on your own, you tap into your own wisdom.
Yes, of course, absolutely. You touched on something there, which is what I wanted to talk to you about actually. So you talked about spiritual practices. So
Yeah,
for people that kind of know me, I'm quite a spiritual person. I believe in energy. I believe in the universe. I believe in
yeah.
God. Like I believe like we attract how we energetically are. So would you call yourself a spiritual person?
Very, yeah. I don't know where it comes from because like, well, my parents aren't overly spiritual. My dad's very open-minded, but
Yeah.
like I just felt like it was something that was I was so drawn to from a young child. Yeah,
Was there like a poignant time in your life? Because I know some people, obviously, manifestation, this word gets thrown around an awful lot at the moment. It's
yeah.
becoming quite a trendy word, I guess. And some people being like, oh yeah, that like they watched The Secret or they read it and it changed their lives.
Yeah.
Was there a poignant point in your life where you, I guess, something happened to you where you kind of started to dip your toe in or you started to kind of ask
I,
questions?
no, I just remember like not like as a child, I just remember always feeling like this bit of an emptiness, which I think a lot of adults they get older and they still feel like
Yeah.
a void. Like there was an emptiness, and I just remember always thinking as I got older there must be a better way to feel. And I think it was only when I was about 18 that I became stumbled across like self-development books, and I was like, oh, what's
What
this?
is this?
Yeah,
What is this treasure trove?
and I feel like that's when my love affair with it begun, because each book you'd read, you'd learn a little bit something more about yourself, or you'd open yourself up a little bit. So, and then it's just like sort of snowballed into a bit of an obsession from
Yeah,
there.
right. Has anything like wild ever happened to you, like in a spiritual sense?
No, I think I was obviously like open to stuff when I was younger, like little things that have happened, but nothing major. I just think that it's about like where I am now, it's more like opening my consciousness even more, like becoming like really becoming like there's a thing called like self realization, self actualization. So it's
Yeah,
like where you can be really conscious all the time,
yeah,
and like that is where I feel like that's definitely where I want to be. Yeah, like because it's just such a nice place where you can just be in peace and joy all the time, and
yes,
your thoughts affect you. I think to beginning with, you just have to become aware of your thoughts just to start with. So you're just like,
yeah,
even noticing your thoughts, because most of those are just
yes,
like, it's just nonsense and noise. So
yeah.
just control your thoughts and, head towards being able to have those moments where you're not even, there's no noise. It's
There's
just like,
no noise.
yeah, to
Yes,
be more still. And I think the time periods get longer and longer.
yeah,
And things obviously like meditation and things like that really, really help.
yeah.
And again, having the right teachers that can guide you through that. Because I feel
Guide
like
you
you
through
can
that.
only
Yeah,
watch so many books or like watch so many YouTube videos or books, but you do still need to have somebody who is like pretty much up there, like levitating.
yeah, right. How'd you get up there?
Yeah.
How'd you get so serene? Are there any like I guess I want to say spiritual practices, but I guess I mean like spiritual, maybe like mindset-y or gratitude or journaling, or is there anything that you specifically do every single day to kind of get your mind,
Yeah.
your body in that place where you feel that sense of calm?
Yeah.
You,
I
is
do.
there anything you do?
Yeah, I definitely start with like meditation, even if it's just chucking my like earphones on
Yeah,
before I bed, because it's hard. Obviously, mornings are busy and stuff, but you've just got to,
yeah, of course, right?
yeah, it's hard sometimes later on in the day as well. But I feel like just it's such a that and if you were listening to positive affirmations as well, so you're
Yeah.
starting your day with you're not like, oh God, another day,
Yeah, yeah, right. It
we're
sets your day
starting
up in such a different way, doesn't it?
yeah, starting the right energy. And I just feel like when I was poorly, I really and I was at home recovering, and obviously my life was I was going from one life to another life, and you're sort of like, oh, what's my identity? And I was letting go
Yeah,
of hairdressing and just having to recover from having cancer, and I did feel quite low, and I don't like feeling like that because it's like not really normal for me. So then I was like, right, Lara, I just fed my mind with even if it's just watching a really positive like YouTube, somebody who you really love, or
yeah,
listening to something really positive and a positive audio book. I just threw like everything at myself that I could absorb, because straight away then that and doing a meditation that
yeah,
lifts your vibration. So you're not having to consciously go, oh my God, I've got to feel better. You can just put something in, because it's like a diet, isn't it? What you're absorbing. And
yeah,
thoughts went like, I wasn't feeling good. So I was like, right, I need to put some other stuff in. So
yeah.
and that day I was like, oh, okay, I feel better now,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? I think I read something a little while ago and they were saying like actually your diet, yes, it can obviously consists of the food that you're putting in your body. And we use that to nourish our physical body. But actually what we're putting inside our mind is just as important as well.
So important, yeah, like, because you could do those other things, but if you're not thinking, like, we are the ones who are listening, we're listening to our thoughts the whole
Yeah.
day, so
Yeah.
you want to try and make sure they're nice thoughts, and sometimes obviously it's a bit of a domino effect, if something
Yeah.
horrible could happen, like say like being poorly or whatever, and
Yeah.
you have to really dig a lot deeper,
Yeah.
and it's so important because your thoughts will affect how you're feeling, and then
Yeah.
like whatever's going around you. So it's really getting hold of them and not letting them run away from you, like, run away, and then one bad thought creates another bad thought.
Exactly that. It is that, isn't it? And it can be something literally, like you said, that's quite simple in the morning because, yeah, as mums, business owners, like we know that days
Yeah,
and mornings can be manic trying to get kids out
yeah,
to school. And I do something really similar. And it's literally like the second I open my eyes, stick my headphones in, 5 minutes, just either a meditation or hypnosis. And then I kind of just quickly write down the 5 things that I'm most grateful for today.
yes,
And they can be really small things. They don't have
yeah.
to be these massive breakthroughs that
No,
people think.
I think
It
that's
can
really
actually just be small
sensible.
things.
Yeah, like what you're like, sort of just do something that you know is going to be manageable, because
Yes,
yeah, oh well, I would all love to have 2 hours to do like a miracle morning.
of course, right?
Like, if you've got to be up out of bed at 6 o'clock, that's not going to happen. So even if it's just, I'm going to do 5 minutes of this, or I'm going to do
Yeah,
10, like a 10-minute guided meditation. It hasn't got to be half an hour or anything like that. But even just these small steps that don't feel too overwhelming
yeah,
can still make a big change. And then you, as you enjoy it, you might want to lengthen more or add something else in. It's just
yeah.
not trying to add to do to, oh, I'm going to do this, and this, and it takes
No,
too long, because it's just
no. And I think then it shows, doesn't it, that actually, like you said, like really, really small changes or implementations that you add in actually then can affect the rest of your day in a really positive
yeah,
way. And they
yeah,
can really like mentally they can set you up in a really good state
yes.
to kind of then carry on the rest of the day. So yeah, I definitely, there's definitely things that I do in the morning and the evening before I go to bed, just yeah, like my gratitude and
Yeah. So before you go to sleep, like, they're both, like I always say to clients, like the first 5 minutes in the morning and the last 5 minutes at
yes,
night. I think that's when you're in that theta state, and it's really, really good time for reprogramming and all of
yeah,
those things. So it's, and it has to be 5 minutes. So if you're going to sleep thinking about the things you're grateful for, or set like thinking about what you want to attract, imagining yourself, you know,
yeah,
where like, where you're going to be, or what you want to attract into your life, whether it be the right partner or like doing well in business or whatever it may
yeah,
be, and just go off to sleep in a nice, happy, joyful state.
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible. You are absolutely incredible. You're an incredible woman. You have such an incredible story. So I guess like 2025 is fast approaching us
Yeah,
at rate of knots. And oh my goodness. What is it that you want to achieve in 2025? Like,
I don't, well, like obviously 2024 was a bit like, the first half of it was a little bit of a blur, although I still managed to
you've
like
done amazing. You
collaborate
are
a
amazing.
lot. Yeah, so like I can't say I was just a bit out of it for the first few months. I would
Yeah,
say, like,
which is understandable.
yeah. So it'd be nice to go into 2025, like, just like I feel like everything's really come together with my business. It takes a while, and if you speak to any entrepreneur, like I just wanted to do coaching, but I didn't think about having to learn all the business stuff and
Yeah.
all the things that,
Yeah.
your careers in their own right. So I feel like, really happy where like everything's looking good, and like I'm attracting the clients that I want. So really, I'm not, I'm just happy to go on with that, and then maybe set a few new business goals. I haven't really worked out what they are yet, but just to sort of let the business really sort of like start to
Yeah.
like flourish. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and so I know also I will have to have a reversal, because I had a stoma when I had the cancer. So I'm hoping that might happen at the beginning of the year, but it won't be such a big recovery. It'll be a smaller operation. So that will kind of then close the door on that.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So I guess it's like big visions for your business, but big visions for like obviously the women that you're working with as
Yeah,
well, the people that you're attracting in.
yeah, and I would like to. I'm going to obviously like to do some work with you as well, because I'm like looking to like sort of set up a like Etsy
Yeah,
store with
which
lots
I'm
of
excited for.
products on there as well. So that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that, and just being able to start to be even more creative. So coach more women, help more women, and start to be creative with some like really nice
That's
products that
amazing.
I can create. to help.
Yeah, of course. That's absolutely, yeah, I know, I can't wait. We're gonna be so I guess my last question is, if there is like a woman out there who is, I guess, what you were describing earlier, so a really successful high level entrepreneur or business owner, but obviously has that feeling that they can resonate that you described of kind of either in this loop of their sort of like their relationship or their love life, like and they're attracting the people that they just know aren't a right fit for them, but they
Yeah,
don't know how to break the cycle. Like, what advice would you give them? Because obviously you've walked that sort of path. So
yeah,
if they're feeling that at the moment, like everything else is great, but this
yeah.
one area is,
Don't waste any more time. Like honestly, don't waste another year. Like just
yeah.
send me a message. Let's get on a discovery call, like a breakthrough call. My breakthrough calls are free. So we can, but it's just a case of deciding. Like I know nothing changed for me until I decided. I was like, I had enough, like basically this moment, like
You
I am
done?
done.
I've done it.
I am done with this. I'm done with retracting that. Like, why has everybody else got that? That's what I would like. What do I need to do? Someone tell me, and just get on, because things can change quickly, but you just need somebody to ignite that within you and who knows exactly what you need to do and what one person might need that is different to another person. So it's all bespoke and but it's just what they need. So yeah, I would say just decide that you're not going to waste any more time and you want next year to be different.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. That is, I think that's absolutely amazing. Like your coaching program sounds incredible because it is bespoke as well to everybody,
Yeah, yeah.
and obviously to different people, and you obviously take that time to really understand your clients on a really intimate level. So yeah, if there is anybody, then Lara is obviously offering a free 30-minute discovery call. So I highly recommend people jump on that. But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much. You're an absolute powerhouse of a woman. I love that we met. I love chatting about you. I love that obviously we're hopefully going to go and do some stuff together as well in
Yeah,
the future. And I wish you so much love and luck in the future. What you're doing is beautiful and it's coming from a really authentic place. And the most incredible thing is obviously you've walked this path. So then being able to work with those women as well and help them through that incredible transition. Because I am the first person to say I love love. I love it.
me too. I love love
I
too.
love love.
And
Yeah.
just seeing somebody light up and the light come back on in their eyes and just
Yes.
blush.
That's incredible. Amazing. Thank you so much, my lovely. Well, look, I will speak to you very soon, but I hope everyone enjoyed the episode. And if you've got any questions, I will drop all the links to Lara in the below. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, my lovely. Take care.